What's up guys, in this video we're going to do a review on the Ratio Tech 1x12 Road Upgrade Kit. Alright, if you're not familiar with Ratio Tech, they're a small company out of the UK who actually changes the internals of your Sram Mechanical shifters. Now their first product was a ratchet that could change your shifters to work with Sram Eagle rear derailleurs, so you could have the ultimate wide range mullet setup. This is called 1x12 wide on their website. Now, more recently, they've come out with the internals that work with the SRAM Axis Road cassettes. So you can actually change the internals of your mechanical shifter to work with the flat top chain and also your Axis 1033, 1036, or even up to the 1044 Explore cassette they have now. The awesome folks at Ratio Tech actually sent me the internals back in the spring. I installed them on my 3T Strata and rode it for quite a while, and it was an awesome setup. They also send you pulleys as well because the flat top chain is narrower than your regular 12-speed chains. So if you have the stock pulleys on, let's say, a CX1 rear derailleur, you need these pulleys to be able to run that flat top chain. Now, as far as changing out the internals on the shifter, it is really basic. They have great instructions on their website. They also have a great video on YouTube that you can actually watch. Now, the only downside, you do have to take the shifter off your bar. So if you already have them wrapped, it is a bit of a pain to try to get them off. Now, I have been able to change the internals without actually having to cut or to take off the brake hose. So if you're running the hydraulic brakes with SRAM, then you actually don't have to take that out because that can be a pain to re-bleed them and all that stuff. So what I've actually done was I was able to take off the shifter from the bar, and then I was able to change the internals that way. It's a little bit harder to do, but it's not difficult, and it makes it much easier as far as adding it to your previous setup. Now, I had this installed on my 3T Strata extra large. I used some SRAM Force CX1 shifters, changed out the internals there, and then I paired it with a CX1 rear derailleur that was a mid cage. And I ran the 1033 cassette, also the 1036 cassette, and it cleared, no issues whatsoever. Now, if you did want to run the Explore cassette, which is that 1044, you would need a long cage CX1, or you could even use Ratio's setup where you could take an Eagle cassette, and they have a fin that you can buy from them that changes the ratio of your Eagle rear derailleur to actually be compatible with the road shifting. So you could do that as well. Now, as far as the performance of it and actually the shifting of it, it was very precise, very quiet, ran very well. And when you actually shift the lever, you didn't have to push the lever as far to actually shift the gear because you're essentially cramming 12 gears into the space of what the 11 gears were before. So the shifting is a little quicker than actually the 11-speed setup, and it's just easier to dump a bunch of gears as well. It also moves through the block very quickly, and as quick, if not quicker, than some of your electronic group sets. And it was very precise too, and it dropped down to that 10 tooth very easily. Now, SRAM shifters can get kind of gooked up with their grease with dirt and everything inside of them, so you just have to make sure the inside is clean to allow it to drop down to that 10 tooth. But I had no issues when I was using it with my setup. So right now on their website, it's advertised as a 1x12 road setup only. Now, what would be interesting is to actually pair it with a front derailleur and see if it would actually work. The issue with that you may have with a 22 front derailleur is the flat top chain is narrower, and the cage for the mechanical front derailleur is obviously wider because it's set up for an 11-speed chain. But I would imagine that you could actually make it work. Jeremiah Bishop, actually on his gravel bike, he's running Axis electronic group set, but he's actually running a Shimano front chainring, and he's shifting fine on that. There's no issues whatsoever. So I believe you could actually make it work, and you could actually have a 2x12 mechanical setup. Now, I actually made a 2x12 setup with the Ratio Tech internals before. I'll put that link up here as well, but I was not using the Axis ratchet on the inside. I was using the Eagle wide ratchet on the inside with a setup with a Sensa cassette. But once again, details are in the video right there. Now, I give this product a rating of 10 out of 10. The Ratio Tech guys really knocked it out of the park with this product. Very precise, easy to install. and it's cheaper than obviously going out and buying Axis stuff, especially if you've already have the mechanical setup, or if you just don't like dealing with batteries and having to charge your group set. This is a viable option for you. Now, I really wish SRAM and Shimano and other companies would really develop more of their mechanical group sets, but it looks like they're ditching them for all the electronic stuff. So right now, your highest end, mechanical setup is really campy 1x13, which is pretty expensive. I mean, you could almost buy Axis for that. So if you're wanting to go 12 speed and you have SRAM and you want to have that high end mechanical setup, then I would go with the Ratiotech internals and basically bring your drivetrain up to date, and you don't have to break the bank, and it's actually cheaper and lighter than the Axis setup. All right, so as far as this video goes, pretty short because this product works really well. So definitely get it if you need it. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like it. Also share it with any of your friends, and we'll see you in the next video.